Where should we go? Just go.
Genesis 32. Okay, we just read about how Jacob left Laban and they ended up on good terms. Okay, now it starts out verse 32, right after Laban and Jacob made a covenant. Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. Verse 2, and when Jacob sent them, he said, "This is God's army." So he called the name of that place Mahanaim.
Who's that?
That's the name of that place where he departed from Laban. Okay, verse 3 starts a new section. Jacob sends gifts to appease Esau. Okay, why does he need to appease Esau, Ezekiel? We read about that yesterday.
Because we appease Esau.
Why is Esau angry? Why did Jacob leave to go with Laban?
Because Jacob Esau was angry because Jacob took the blessing.
Jacob and Rebekah tricked Isaac into giving Jacob the blessing. And so that's why Esau was angry. Okay? And then Rebekah heard Esau say, I'm going to kill my brother when my dad dies. And so she sent him to her brother Laban. Okay? Till he calmed down. Okay, now he's heading back. And Jacob says, hey, I'm going to send a bunch of gifts to Esau. Say, oh, I'm sorry, Esau. I was bad. Here's a bunch of gifts. Okay?
Is he going to give the blessing back to Esau or no?
No, Jacob has the blessing. But he's going to give him a bunch of gifts and say he was sorry. Okay? The blessing's the blessing. It can't be changed. Just like Isaac says. The blessing is the blessing. Once it's given, it can't be changed. Okay? Verse 3. Follow on, son. Jacob sends gifts to appease Esau. Verse 3. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau, his brother in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. Verse 4. Instructing them thus, you shall say to my lord Esau, this says your servant Jacob, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed until now. Verse 5. And I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, men servants, maid servants. And I have sent to tell my lord in order that I might find favor in your sight. Verse 6. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, we came to your brother Esau, and he is coming to meet you, and 400 men with him. Does that sound good? Esau's coming to meet Jacob with 400 men. I don't know if that sounds good. Okay? Maybe that sounds like an army. Esau's bringing an army.
Why?
It doesn't sound good. Because remember, when they left, Esau was angry. Okay, verse 7. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed.
Why is Esau know where Laban's house is?
No, they're not at Laban's house. Jacob left Laban's house. Now he's returning to Canaan. Okay? He's near where Esau lives now. And he sent a bunch of gifts to Esau saying, hey, I'm sorry, Esau. Can you forgive me for my foolishness? Verse 7, then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that were with him.
Jacob and Esau meet. It's on the 33 section.
Okay,
I see it.
so let's focus on chapter 32, son. Let's focus on where we're at, baby. Okay? Verse 7, then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that were with him, and the flocks and herds and camels into 2 companies. Verse 8, thinking, if Esau comes to the one company and destroys it, then the company which is left will escape. Okay? Jacob had so many kids at this point. He had 2 wives and so many children that he said, well, at least half of my children will live if Esau destroys the other half. Okay,
Why
so he made.
is Esau's going to destroy the other?
That's what Jacob's afraid of. He's afraid. He's like, oh, maybe my brother's still angry and he's gonna come kill my family. And so he divided into two parts, and he said, well, if Esau come and destroys one group, then at least the other group will carry my name on. Okay, verse 9. And Jacob said,
How many sons does Jacob have?
12. Okay.
Oh, that's 12 apostles.
Yeah, same as 12 apostles. Verse 9. And Jacob said, O God, my father.
Hey, Dad, that's 6 groups.
No, he just divided 2 groups. 6 sons in each group, 1 wifey in each group, like that. Verse 9. And Jacob said, O God, my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, return to your country and to your kindred, and I will do you good. Verse 10. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercy and all the faithfulness which you have shown to your servant. For with only my staff I crossed this Jordan, and now I've become 2 companies. Okay? So now Jacob is saying sorry to God for his foolishness. Okay? He sent gifts to apologize to Esau. Now he's asking for forgiveness from God. Okay? Verse 11. Deliver me, I beg you, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he come and slay us, the mothers with the children. Verse 12. But you said, I will do your good and make your descendants as the sands of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. Verse 13. So he lodged there that night and took from what he had with him a present from his brother Esau. Verse 14. 200 she-goats and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams. That's a lot of animals. That's a big gift he's given Esau.
Why?
Verse 15. Okay? Because he's sorry. He's asking for forgiveness. Verse
Are they toys?
No, they're animals, son. Like goats. Remember when we used to do feed goats? Goats and sheep and cows. Like
We
that.
feed goats?
When we used to go to feed goat, remember those goats? He said 200 boy goats, 200 girl goats, like that. Okay? Verse 15. 30 milch camels.
There's 2 goats and horses.
Okay, baby. Okay, let's keep reading.
Horses.
Yes, horses too. Verse 15. 30 milch camels and their colts. 40 cows and 10 bulls. 20 she-donkeys and 10 he-donkeys. Verse 16. These he delivered into the hands of his servants, every drove by itself, and said to his servants, pass on before me, and put a space between drove and drove. Verse 17. He instructed the foremost, when Esau my brother meets you, he asks you, to whom do you belong? Where are you going? And those are these before you. Verse 18. Then you shall say, they belong to your servant Jacob. They are a present sent to my lord Esau. And moreover, he is behind us. Verse 19. He likewise instructed the second and the third, and all who followed the droves. You shall say the same thing to Esau when you meet him. Verse 20. And you shall say, moreover, your servant Jacob is behind us. For he thought, I may appease him with the present that goes before me, and afterwards I shall see his face. Perhaps he will accept me. Verse 21. So the present passed on before him. and he himself lodged that night in the camp. Okay, here's a key event. See where it says 12 in the raindrop?
Yeah.
This is the key event. Read the title of the key event. Go up top. This is a description of the key event. What does it say up top?
Wait.
12 up top. No, don't look down there. Look up top where it says 12.
Okay, our Bible says this.
Yes, they're exactly the same, baby. Okay, we're in chapter 32, but we're reading key event 12. Okay, so what's the title of key event 12? Can you read it, please?
Jacob was close to God.
Jacob wrestles with God. This is a key event in the Bible. Okay, let's read about it. This is what we're going to read about when we read when Jacob wrestles with God. Just before he reunites with his brother Esau, from whom he had stolen the blessing.
Who is stolen?
You're the one who said that. Jacob stole the blessing from Esau. Okay?
Is he going to give it back?
He can't. Okay, just like his father Isaac. Once the blessing's given, it's given. He can't give it back. But he can say sorry. Okay? Okay, let's read again. Just before he reunites with his brother Esau, from whom he had stolen the blessing, Jacob wrestles with God, a pivotal moment in his journey. Here, Jacob receives the name Israel, which means wrestle with God. What does Israel mean? What does Israel mean?
Wrestles with God.
Okay? So Jacob wrestles with God. We're going to read about that.
Why?
And then God changes his name to Israel, which means wrestles with God. This is also the name of the nation that will come from his 12 sons. So is Esau going to kill Jacob and all his kids?
No.
No, he's not. Okay, they're going to become a great nation.
Jacob's kids are not going to get all killed.
None of them. Okay?
None of them?
None of them. Okay, so let's read what happened. Jacob wrestles at Peniel. Verse 22. The same night he arose and took his 2 wives and his 2 maids and his 11 children. Oh, at that point there were only 11. Okay? Rachel's going to have another boy named Benjamin. Okay, that comes later though. But right now he only has 11 sons.
That's like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, Benjamin in jiu-jitsu. Okay? So he took all his children and crossed the ford of Jabbok. Verse 23. And he took them and sent them across the stream, and likewise everything that he had. Verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. Who do you think that man was who wrestled with Jacob? Okay. It's God. Okay. Remember, we read the key event. Jacob wrestles with God. Okay, we're going to find out. Let's keep reading. Verse 25. When the man saw that he did not prevail against Jacob, he touched the hollow of his thigh. Where's your thigh? Touch your thigh. Touch your thigh. Where's your thigh? That's your leg, your upper leg. Okay, touch your upper leg. Okay, that's what God did. He touched Jacob's thigh. And Jacob's thigh was put out of joint, and he wrestled with him. Verse 26, then he said, let me go, for the day is breaking. But Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Verse 27, and he said to him, what is your name? And he said, Jacob. Verse 28, then he said, your name shall no more be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with men, and you have prevailed. Jacob's new name is Israel. Okay? Just like, remember, Abram was changed to Abraham? Okay, at that moment, Jacob wrestled with God, and then God changed his name to Israel because he wrestled with God.
Jacob is going to be a city. He's going to turn out to be a city.
No, Jacob's a man, son. He's not a city, but his kids are gonna create a great nation.
For
Verse-
him?
No, after he dies, they're gonna create a great nation, Israel. Remember, and David's the king. Okay, let's keep reading, baby. Let's focus right now on this chapter. Verse 29. Then Jacob asked him, "Tell me, I pray, your name." But he said, "Why is it that you ask my name?" And there he blessed him. Verse 30. So Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, saying, "For I have seen God face to face, and yet my life is preserved." Verse 31. The sun rose upon him as he passed Peniel, limping because of his thigh. Remember, God touched his thigh, and his thigh went out of joint? Okay, and he limped after that. Read verse 32. That's the last verse in the chapter.
That's a lot of words. Could you read some of it?
Read verse 32. I just read a whole bunch, son. It's your turn.
Yeah.
Do not grab the Bible like that, son. You're going to break the Bible. Be gentle with the Bible.
Therefore, to this day,
Israelites. Israelites. I'm reading. Israelites. I said it like 3 times, son. Keep reading.
Israelites do not eat the sinew of the hip which is upon the hollow of the thigh, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh on the sinew of the hip.
Here, come here. I'll show you what they're talking about. Okay? So God touched Jacob right here.
I could touch it.
No, stand up. Stand up. God, come over here. God touched Jacob right here, right? That's the sinew of the thigh, the hollow of the thigh, right? And then Jacob's thigh went out of joint,
Why?
and he started limping. We'll find out later why.
What's limping?
Limping. Remember when Dada had the back problem and he was limping? Okay, so they're saying to this day, when Israelites, when they eat cows, for example, they don't eat that part of the cow in honor of Jacob. Okay? What happened to Jacob? You understand? Okay? That's the end of that chapter 32. You have any questions?
No. It was 18 minutes.